So I wanted to talk about goal setting today and the balance that it can bring and the unbalance that it can bring, but it's part of the process. And without goals, you're going to be sitting stagnant and life's going to be happening to you because you have nothing to pursue. But when you have a goal, the enthusiasm and motivation that you gain within that goal, within the process, is what's meant to really count. It's not so much achieving the goal. Although we like to feel good when we achieve our goals and it brings a certain amount of happiness, it's a fleeting experience. Once you do achieve a goal that you've been after for so long, you lose the energy that you achieved it with. You lose the emphasis, you lose the power, you lose the push that you had to get you towards that goal, and you need to set a new goal. Otherwise you'll become stagnant again. And I find this with a lot of people around that you see have achieved some pretty good things for their own growth. But once they achieve them, they seem to sort of lose track because the goal's been reached. So all the things that were put in the road, all the roadblocks, have been breached and bridged or passed. So now, after achievement, you feel quite successful because you've figured out a way to get around everything that's trying to stop you, to get around all the obstacles, and you've got to where you want to be, which is absolutely great if you can do that. But you need to have either more goals in mind previously, or you need to be able to set another goal. Once you realise you've achieved your target, you need another goal to aim for to stop stagnancy. And stagnancy within life, within evolution and growth, creates disease. That's why it's called dis-ease, because the body's not at ease. So with creating goals, there's what I've seen is there's two different types of people so far that I've seen anyway. And some of them work on emotion. So they use the emotion, whether it's the love, the fear, the anxiety, whatever it is, but they know how to use that emotion to channel it into what they're doing to get to where they want to be. And the only downside, like I was saying before, is once they achieve that goal, all that emotion might come flooding in and give you this massive sort of euphoric moment of happiness. Then as that dies down and you get the low, which is the opposite reaction to that, you need something else to aim for, to keep you striving, to keep you moving. And when you use emotions to keep you moving, you need to be able to work up those emotions. You need to be able to learn how to feel if that's how you're going to move through the world. But if you aren't someone who works on emotions, you work on logic, you've got a clear goal set in your mind, without those emotions, it appears you can move through the world with less external effect. And when you achieve your goal, you may not get as big a high or as much happiness or euphoria, but that also means you won't get the opposite to that, which is the low side of it, the what do I do next, or where am I going? Because you can use that same pattern you've used to achieve what you've just achieved, and you can apply that to the next goal. But when you're not relying on emotions to get you there, it's a lot more methodical and a lot more logical, which is also a lot safer. On the other hand, when you use your emotions, there's a lot more power in that, but you really want to have enough strength inside yourself that you don't let the external world affect your emotions. So that's where I have a concern, is that when you use emotions to get somewhere, you must have full control of your emotions, or the external world will change your path. Someone will upset you and affect your emotions, which will change your direction. So when using emotions, you need to be extremely strong in yourself and know what you're doing. and not let any external input change your directional path. And if you're using the logical, systematic sort of path, then in that respect, you're almost avoiding emotions. And there's many reasons for that, which are not worth getting into now, but those are the two types of people I've seen for goal setting. There's the very robotic, methodical, and there's the wearing my heart on a sleeve with emotions type energy, which really expresses authenticity. And that's what we're on this planet to do. So neither way is right or wrong. One might be faster or slower, one might be better or worse for different people, but those are two paths I've recognised, and I can quite clearly see different types of people that will slot into each of those paths. But once you start to learn to use the two together, the logic and the emotion, that's when your heart-brain coherence kicks in and you move beyond the goal setting. It's the journey of getting there that is the goal, achieved every day. And that keeps a higher vibration day to day to day. Rather than seeking that high vibration in the future for a one-time experience, you're experiencing it every day if you're keeping your mind and your heart on that same path. So every day you will feel, express and experience gratitude within the path that you're on, rather than staying in the logical mind and deferring all those emotions to the end result. Because then if you don't get the end result you're after, if you have high expectations and they aren't met, then those emotions will flip 180 and become a south node emotion rather than a north node, and it will start hitting you in the wrong direction. So embrace your authenticity. The more criticism and the more backlash and the more judgment you get from other people, the more you know you're doing the right thing. And that's what the people that judge you don't seem to understand, is that with their judgment comes more power for you personally if you don't absorb and take on their judgment. If you just see it for what it is, whether it's jealousy, envy, any number of those sort of words you want to use, if you can understand that it's just coming from their perspective of not understanding you, then you don't need their approval. You can just continue regardless of their opinion, because nobody else is living your life. They can have an opinion on it, and you can use that either way, but you don't have to use it. All you have to do is continue living the way you want to live. And the more authentic you are, the more you'll notice people pushing back on you, because they either don't recognize authenticity because they don't embody it themselves, or it's a subconscious jealousy program where they wish they could step into their own authenticity, but they don't have the strength or the knowledge or the power or the desire to be different and put themselves out there like I am right now, to be judged. And I welcome the judgment, I welcome the questions, I welcome the debate, I welcome the negative and positive feedback. It all empowers me exactly the same. And it's part of the challenge, part of the journey. And every day that I get challenged by people pushing back on what I say is another day that I'm grateful for, another day that's pulling the information out of me and allowing me to express my authenticity. And it's not reliant on other people's opinions. That's the great thing about authenticity, is it only relies on you. It's all personal responsibility.